This is Audra Hicks, your Tennessee real estate professional. I wanted to go over some things in your home today that might affect the sale of it. So please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned because I put the real in real estate. So I wanted to go over some things that might affect why your home is maybe sitting on the market a lot longer. A lot of times, as if you have an agent that you're working with and they have told you price is going to have to be adjusted or whatever, you really need to listen to them. We research the market. Usually, if you're a good agent, you're researching the market every day. There's a lot of things we do behind the scenes that our clients never know that we're doing if we don't tell them. And we can't tell them every day and bug them to death either. So just know that if they're an active agent and I do this full time, I'm researching, I'm looking at properties, I do certain things every single day that are to do with my listings too. But there are a few things, items that you really need to take care of if you are wanting to sell your home and have a quicker turnaround, especially. Number one, I'm going to start with the roof. If the roof is in disrepair, or if it's missing shingles, anything like that, you may need to get a roofer out there. Let them look at the roof and figure out what needs to be done. Do that on the front end. You should have done it probably a long time ago if it's in that disrepair or needing to be replaced. Unfortunately, I have had several clients over the past few years that's had to replace their roof during the process of selling. That's expensive unless your insurance is paid for it somehow. If it was in a storm or something caused it like that, I don't ever advocate you ever turning in anything in on insurance, especially if it was not caused by something the insurance needs to be paying for. Anyway, we just had to put a brand new roof on ours. That is very expensive. And on top of everything else we've done to ours this year. So, have your HVACs maintained. If they are really old and on their last leg, you may have to end up doing that too. But I'm not here to scare you on, the things that you need to do. There are certain things that you can do if you don't have the money to do it, and that is sell your house at a reduced price or as is and things like that. There's other things you can do. If you don't have the money to replace all the big items, then we're going to have to really look at price. Price ultimately is what drives everybody. That's what the buyers care about, is the price. So, and the condition of the home. That's why I'm here today telling you the things that you really need to look at. You really need to do curb appeal outside, make it look good. Even adding that layers outside on your porch or your side porch or whatever door we're going to put the lock on that they're going to actually have access to the home in. Whatever they are going to enter in, wherever they're going to enter into the home, make sure that you've got it all spruced up, everything's painted. Go around the house inside and out and make sure that all that's done. Sometimes if you are a good painter, you can do that yourself. Sometimes you probably should hire a professional to do it. If you have really out there colors that are going to scream at people, you really need to tone that down before you put it on the market. I've had several that's had to do it after the fact. Even after I've done my professional picks and they didn't do it in the beginning, somehow once they've moved out or once they've done things and learned that that's probably one of the reasons anyway, they go ahead and get it painted or do it themselves or whatever they need to do to get it, all of those colors, to, be toned down some. So that's a biggie. Your flooring, if your flooring is in disrepair, you need to look at maybe replacing that. I know I've had other videos and stuff out there about what you need to do to get your home, prepared to sell, so you can look back at those, but it never hurts to go back over some of that as well. So you just want to make sure curb appeal, curb appeal, curb appeal. a lot of times especially in this market, we really, really need to listen to our agent. Number one, listen to your agent, and because they do usually know what they're talking about. So curb appeal. Then inside, I like to go around with all of my clients when I arrive at the listing consultation and go through the home inside and out and figure out what needs to be done and what doesn't need to be done. What you might think needs to be done, I might not think you need to do that. Or there might be a way we can do a concession for that if we need to. That's only if the buyer may ask for that or not. So it depends. And it depends what market we're in. If we go back to a seller's market, which we're not in right now, y'all, we're in a buyer's market. Unless we're in certain areas, of course. But if we are in a seller's market, you wouldn't necessarily have to do a lot. They're going to overpay for the houses. Back to years ago when we had 24, 25 offers on a home, and a lot of buyers ended up having to pay over and above appraisal and things like that. But when you're in the market we're in now, you got to really look at the condition of that home. It depends on what you're willing to take for your house too, or do to the house. So you've got to come down to earth and know exactly what it is that is your top priority. Do you need the maximum amount of money? Do you need to sell it quickly? I mean, I don't know why you are needing to sell, and we usually go over that in the listing consultation as well. So I go through the house inside and out, and we make a list of all of the things that we need to prepare to do, or we go over things that we might put that on the end if you're able to do that. So I'll give you the good, the bad, and the ugly in the home. So a lot of people, if they don't want to hear the truth, then please don't hire me or have me in the home, because I am going to tell you the truth, but I do it in a nice Southern way, y'all. I mean, yeah. But I'm not a mean person, so I don't come in and try to, tell you that something's ugly or anything like that, because I don't believe in that. So I believe in being respectful. And but I do believe in telling you the truth, and the truth is going to benefit us in this situation. So there's been many times I've went in and people have tried to sell their home or whatever, and I'm like, wow, okay, but if we do this before we list it, I think we're going to have a shot at this versus, how you've tried to sell it before and not gotten any response off that. But, painting is a big thing. The paint colors in the home is, like I said, it either screams at you or it doesn't. It screams at you in a good way, that's a good thing. But, we even have darker, richer colors in our home, but it is a bigger home. It's a custom home. It's different. If you have a smaller home and you have put dark colors or black or things like that, even though you like those, not everybody likes those colors. And it makes the home look smaller. So if you have a nice big home, bigger rooms and stuff, really, if it's a darker color, it's not probably going to make a big difference in how big it looks to the person. Another thing is please, like I've said many times before, depersonalize and declutter that home. That means a lot. When we take our professional photos and have our photography and stuff, if that home is cluttered and has, I'll pop my finger, has a lot of your family photos and things, I prefer not to put those on the MLS because that's open for the world, and we don't want to have that out there. I don't want pictures of your children and you and your husband, or put y'all's names out there or whatever. You just want to stay neutral, and less is more. I always say this: less is more. So I know there's a lot of times that I may tell clients that they need to do something, but until it goes on the market, and if they did not listen, once we start getting, if an agent will leave us feedback, that's a big if. Agents usually, once they view a home, we will always ask for them to give us feedback. That way we can go to our seller and our clients and say, hey, here's what they said. And then it really hits home to them. Then they're like, oh, it's not just you saying that, and it's other people that think that. Just because I think something doesn't mean that I'm the only, everything I say is going to be what they think they need to do, no matter what. But if I say it and other agents say it and they've sent it to us and I can send it to my clients or call them and let them know, then they start to know that maybe Audra was right. So usually I know how to get things sold. If my client doesn't listen or it takes them a while and then it's sit on the market, then we really need to look into why. So the big why are a lot of the things I'm going over today. So if you actually will declutter and depersonalize, go ahead and box up your stuff like you were moving, because that's our ultimate goal here, is it not? I mean, when we list the home and we want to sell it as quick as possible for as much as possible, we want to go ahead and get our stuff out. So you could either have, get you a rental, or if you've got more of a storage building on the property or some place to store it, or maybe the garage has space to put some of your things, then we don't necessarily have to photograph the garage unless it's kind of like our garage and it's nice and would sell the home too. So a lot of times garages are not, so we can stack boxes or containers and stuff out there and out of the home. That way the home looks more neutral. Like I said, we want to stay neutral. We want to have neutral colors more, unless, like I said, it is that style of home where you can get away with that. So less is more, like I said. So declutter, depersonalize. When I get things on the MLS and put them up there, if the room has clutter everywhere and things that they can't see, most people can't see past that. So people, buyers, when they come in homes, because I am a buyer's agent too, even though I do a lot of listings as well. So when buyers come in homes, a lot of them cannot visually see past your stuff anyway. But if it's cluttered or it has a lot of your personal things hanging up, your names, y'all's faces, your kids, your grandkids, you and your husband, it distracts people. And then they start looking at your photos, because I know, been there, done that. Clients are looking at the photos. Oh, I know them. No, I hope you don't know them. No, that doesn't always end good. So, if you can just, like I said, depersonalize, declutter, that helps a lot. People that come in, they don't necessarily know how to look past all of that. Some people can't visualize it. I can visualize and see past stuff. Others can't, because then I can see a blank room and know what it could look like, even if I painted it a different color. But a lot of people don't. So we've got to advertise to the masses here. So do the things that are going to benefit you. Always make sure your flooring's good, your paint's good, everything's been touched up, you've got curb appeal going on, you have decluttered, depersonalized. That will make a huge difference. Make sure that things are maintained. If you haven't maintained them, get them maintained beforehand, like your HVAC, your major things. Make sure all your appliances are working, they're in good working order. The fridge isn't not working. People look in refrigerators. They do. They even pull out, your freezer drawer and everything. I mean, people do that when they're looking at homes. Some want to make sure, and they ask first if they can just open a drawer, and they're being respectful and they want to see if it actually is going to give them the space they need. or if they shut it, it's going to be soft close. So, or cabinet doors and stuff like that. So, people need to look in some things. I prefer people not to look in a lot of the personal stuff, especially furniture. They don't need to be looking in people's furniture. We don't go into homes to look in people's furniture, but I understand they want to look in different drawers that are attached to the home and stuff. Um, so let's see. I think that's the ones I just wanted to touch on to give you kind of a little bit of help there if you're trying to think about putting your home on the market. We have to look at what kind of market we're in, if we're in a buyer's market or seller's market, and see what we need to do. I mean, back in 3 or 4 years ago, we could literally take photos with our cell phones and sell a house. I mean, I didn't do that, but you could. These days, you have to go all out. You have to make sure that everything has been done that can be done, that's within your budget, for what you're wanting out of your home. And work with that. If you also, a big thing is light fixtures, light bulbs, those can actually be replaced, or your door handles, things like that, can do a small little upgrade and mean a lot to people. They know that you've tried to update your home. Instead of the old gold that's in the house, now the new gold is coming back, and it's real pretty, totally different. But so if you've got brass in the home, a lot of those fixtures and stuff, they're outdated. If you have the budget to replace a lot of those, that would help tremendously. If you don't, like I said, maintain things or have things that are in working condition, or they just look broke or they look bad, here's the big thing. If buyers come in your home and they see a lot of deferred maintenance, they're going to want money off the home. If they like the home and it don't run them away, or send them away, they're also going to think, what else are they not doing maintenance to? So even if it's things that aren't big items and they see you haven't been maintaining things that don't cost a lot, if they see that, they're going to think that you did not maintain the big items. So make sure you get on board with doing all of that if you can. If you can't, then we just need to look at price and selling maybe an as is, or, some things it doesn't really matter. People know they can update it, over time. If your countertops are in bad shape or something, you might look at going ahead and doing that. Those kind of updates would make a big difference if you can do that. So hopefully this has helped you today. If it has, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and then I will see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.